On today's episode, I'm gonna show you two things. First, how to make fat stacks. Second, how to sweat a lot. It's hot. It is warm in here. If I had to guess, I'm gonna say it's 80 something, 81 degrees, but in this garage, it must be 125. That might be a slight exaggeration, but it's pretty warm. I have a fan on over here. It might be a little noisy, but I don't give a fuck because it's hot. You know what's not making it better? I can't quit you. I can't quit you. I'm pointing to the coffee, by the way. Fat stack number one. Look at that. 100 days in a row, almost in a row. Technically, I did this in 95 days, but there are 100 pieces of paper, of art here. I am feeling very, very accomplished right now. I'm also feeling very tired. That was a lot of work. It wasn't a lot of work because they were difficult to do, because they weren't difficult. They were strenuous at times. Definitely tested my patience at times, so it was difficult in that respect. I mean, we're making art. It can't be that difficult. It's mostly stuff that happens up here that makes it hard. But to do this for 100 days in a row was a struggle. By the time I got to number 50, I realized that I was already pretty tired of doing it, and I considered giving up. I had other things that I wanted to accomplish, but I committed to myself to do the 100-day project and to finish it all the way through, because not only would I be getting better at the work that I was trying to do, which I did, I was going to be making a body of work that would stand alone by itself. This is a lot of art. I'm not patting myself on the back. You could do this too, but we'll get to that in a minute. Finishing that project gives me so much more than just 100 pieces of art. It gives me the sense of accomplishment of finishing the 100 pieces. It gives me a newfound identity with my work. It gives me the ability to say, okay, I didn't think I could do something before, but now I can. Even if I don't paint another woman for the rest of my life, the skills that I learned while doing this will translate into the art that I'm doing other places. Fat stack number two. Boom. This was actually fatter, but I sold some. The new book. Some of you may have already seen it already, but this is the final version. It's fixed. I centered this stuff on the back and I did the other thing. You can go buy one on Amazon.com right now, or from my website, which I will link to, and you can get one that has one of these fancy things right here. A little bit more pricey on the website, I will admit, but there's a reason behind that, because people that buy from me get a little something special. So yeah, not only did I get a huge body of work, I got to display it at my local First Fridays event, and I had people buy. They didn't buy any of these because I didn't really sell any of these because I still had things to do with. I sold other art there, and I had a lot of really great conversations around the subject matter. We can talk about that some other time. In fact, I will talk about that in more detail, but yes, this was 100 days, not just 100 days of art, not just 100 days of women, 100 days of women that are strong, talk no shit, won't do no shit, won't be no shit. You know what I mean? Ladies, important subject matter for me. And I thought, you know, it was good to share. And it was good to share because all the conversations that I had at the show proved to me that it was a conversation that some ladies definitely wanted to hear. So I make the art, I make the books, I make more books, I make more art, and I do other things, and it becomes more and keeps going more. I keep growing, keep doing more things with it. This adds on to something else that becomes something bigger. I don't know what any of that means, but basically it's the momentum. And I think that is really the biggest lesson, is that doing something for 100 days has created an incredible momentum within me that I feel like I need to be doing something else, because I'm ready. Let's go, let's move, let's make some stuff happen. At the show this weekend, I ran into a woman. She actually ran into my section and looked at my art. She was talking to me about the work, and one of the things she says to me, and I get this comment once in a while from people, but she said to me, I wish I could be artistic, or sometimes they say, I wish I could be creative like this. And I looked her dead in the face and said, but you can. I wasn't gonna go into a philosophical diatribe with her about the potential that she has for creativity and the lacking mindset. Instead, I'll save that diatribe for you right here, right now. The upside is most of the people that watch this, you are creative people already, and you know that you have the capability of doing creative things. But if you are not, or you don't consider yourself one of those creative types, let me tell you something. You can do this. That is kind of the general theme today. You can do this. 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 You can do all of this. I am not some genius mastermind that gets to hold on to all the abilities. Hell, I'm not genius, let alone mastermind. I don't get to hold on to all the power. It's merely me coming out here and doing this thing and saying because I'm gonna do it because I want to. There are no rules. Nobody's putting up any blockades in front of you. If you are doing your creative, artistic, adventure thing, whatever that might be, and you're putting these blockades in front of yourself about the things that you can and cannot accomplish, I'm gonna call bullshit on you. And I do so with love. I want you to succeed just like anybody else would want you to succeed. Well, I know that there's probably some people in your life that don't want you to succeed. They probably talk you down. They talk you out of things. And maybe those are the people you were thinking about when you think to yourself, I can't be creative, or I can't do 100 days in a row, or I can't make my own book, or I can't do video, or I'm no good on a podcast, or I can't do spray paint art, or whatever. There's absolutely no secret to anything I'm doing. Everything I do, you are perfectly capable of doing yourself. This is not magic. I just happen to have no fear about it. That might be the big thing for you. Maybe the fear is standing in your way. I get it. I've talked about this numerous times. Fear is false. The fear that you have about not venturing into a different artistic thing is false. The fear you have about getting in front of the camera is false. Okay, if you have a fear of being in large crowds and selling your work into a room of people that you're unfamiliar with, I get that, and I won't talk down to that because that's pretty psychologically intense. I won't pretend to even think about how that feels to you, but I can guarantee you that the fear you have about doing your own book is unfounded. Why am I saying all this? Because I want you to realize your potential. I want you to realize that you have the ability to do the things, and those things that you've been telling yourself that you've been wanting to do, that you've been holding back on, whatever they might be, and I know you're thinking about something right now. Whatever that thing is that you've been thinking about, that you've been holding back on, think hard about how difficult it really is. I guarantee you it's not nearly that difficult. I want to tell you a story about one of these particular women. I don't know her name. I don't know who she is. But she was beautiful. She was tall, statuesque. She was elegant and casual. She was gorgeous. She was bald as Yul Brynner. For the young people, that's like an old guy who was bald all the time. She was walking her dog along the promenade out there in downtown Long Beach. She had a sense of like both reservation and also strength. And that's why I drew her. Because you could tell that she's slightly protective, but also very strong. She stood straight up, her shoulders were back, her head and chin was up. Maybe she's a model and that's where it came from, because she could have been a model. I guarantee you she still could be a model. I don't know what the circumstances are behind her lack of hair. Whether it was something she just chose to do, wanted to shave her head bald. Maybe she's fighting cancer. I didn't get a good enough look at her to see if like she was completely bald. Maybe it was just the head, not the eyebrow. I didn't look that closely, and I didn't ask. It didn't even matter. Because all I thought to myself is, here is this woman walking down the street, as calm, collected, and strong as possible, despite what society will think in their heads as they see her walk by. They'll do one of two things. Oh my God, look at her, she's got no hair. Or, oh my God, she must be sick. Yes, I thought she was beautiful. Yes, I thought she was tall and statuesque and all those other things. But I also thought, oh my God, she must be sick. I now imagine her looking the way she does, walking through the city, knowing that every single person she runs across either thinks she's some sort of freak that just loves to share up her head, or they're looking at her with pity because they think she's sick. If you're a strong, independent woman, the last thing you want is pity. At least I assume that. If I was a strong, independent woman who was dealing with a debilitating disease, the last thing I would want is pity. Point being, she got out there and did it. She could do the thing that she wanted to do. She could walk proudly down the street with her dog and a bald head and say, whatever, man, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna fight this disease. I'm gonna fight the social norms of what it means to have no hair as a woman. I'm gonna fight this idea that your femininity is attached to your follicles. She's doing her thing. I'm trying to do mine. I'm hoping that you try to do yours. And if you're not doing your thing already, why? What's keeping you from that? Because I guarantee you could do this. Anything that you put in front of you that looks like an obstacle was most likely put there from this thing and is completely false. I refuse to let fear get the better of me. I refuse to let sweat ruin my shoot. I refuse to let the conditions of this scenario, hot garage, loud fan, helicopters overhead, get in the way of what I want to do. I want you to start refusing to let other things get in your way. But right now, you are in my way because I've got a lot of work to do. I've got to scan this many of the stack still, and that is gonna take a long time. I've got to scan them all and get them in the book, into the next books. I got a lot of work to do, and you're just in the way. So why don't we go ahead and part our ways today and say, great job, Dave, and you, whoever you might be. Let's go do good things, and let's not let things get in the way, and let's think of this woman with her bald head about how fucking strong and powerful she is, and how she's not gonna take any shit, and neither should you, or me. That's it, folks. That's all for today. I have another video planned already for the next one, so I'm gonna go ahead and actually stop this, say goodbye, and then record the next one because it's here, and I'm gonna go ahead and say it, and it's been too long already. Remember, folks, be good today, be better tomorrow. Buy the book. See ya.